against to some harmful chemicals. Okay, it is not only in the hair also, it is included in the nails also, skin also, everywhere. See, internet made us to understand organic products are good, these products only good, all the chemical products are bad, like that. But actually the truth is, it is all about what kind of products we are using. Is it safe to us or not? That is important. Okay. You take an example of a doctor. Doctor use knife. He can kill us also. He can save us also. At the same time, doctor also cannot get harmed by handling the tools and all. Correct, right? So it has to go in a proper trained, protocol. उसको भी पता चलना है, उसको हाथ पर जब हैंडल करे तो उसको कुछ नहीं होना है, पेशेंट को नहीं होना है, एट द सेम टाइम रिजल्ट भी चाहिए. ओके, इट्स ऑल अबाउट हाउ आर वी टेकिंग इट. नाउ कमिंग इनटू द कंसिडरेशन ऑफ द प्रोडक्ट नॉलेज, there are fumes in products. Example, in the nails, if we take, you must have heard about acrylic extensions, right? No, acrylic extensions, while people are doing it, they have to dip the brush in a liquid and they have to put it in a powder. So when we are doing this polymerization, मतलब इन दोनों को bind करना पड़ता है. ये खुद वैसा dry नहीं होगा. Acrylic powder is a plastic powder. It cannot be directly dried on the fingers. So someone has to help that binder, that liquid में brush डाल के उसको bind करना पड़ता है. But acrylic smells very bad. If it is a brandless product, then it is more harm. So right now what we are doing, you all see that we are doing a less of acrylic. You feel any smell in the salon now? Because we are doing extensions, but we are doing something in a smarter way. Okay, this is market is now advanced. Earlier that is the technique. Now techniques also getting upgraded. The fumes are getting. Earlier acrylic is the only extension. When we open a salon, we don't even know the gel extensions, not even a hard gel. But gel extensions give some burnings also. This gives smell, but that gives burns. Both are different. But now we understood what is chemical free, what is a skin friendly products, what can we do in this one. Like this same way in a hair also, as per my understanding, some ingredients are not good for us, not for the clients, not for anyone else. It is purely for our health. Because you all know market में botox, keratins, smoothenings, you know that many things. Correct thing we need to understand before we talk about those products. So to understand this, what is this smoothening services, what is this temporary texture services, it's all about today my class. Okay, before we take a decision, we'll consider what is running in the market, because brand people will come and talk only their products. Nobody will talk about what is helpful for us, what is bad for us. But I want to explain you that which product is going to help us, which is harmful. So we will avoid that harm products. Okay. So before to understand this, every one of a hairstylist has to remember one important point, that hairdresser or hairstylist is starting with hair. That means we need to understand deep roots of hair to touch with any chemicals. Okay, so in this texture service मतलब क्या है? Texture मतलब hair texture. Mostly you see the hair texture services are curly, wavy, smooth, straight or normal. Correct, no? These are textures. Also thickness is also texture. किसी का बाल टच करने में फाइन होता है, किसी का बाल टच करने में थिक होता है. That is also feels under the texture only. Okay. Now in this texture services, two trending services are available. One is permanent, other one is temporary. Correct, no? In our salon we have so far permanent. We didn't touch also, temporary one. Correct, no? So now let's understand what is the differences here. So when it comes to the hair textures also, permanent, temporary, both are available. What is the difference between this permanent and temporary? Simple, you can also tell me.
Temporary wash material.
Result long lasting error. It won't stay the long lasting. Permanent means
Stay long time.
it stays. You no need to worry, client also. But what is the actual procedures involved giving permanent results and temporary results? Let's understand. Before understanding this, we need to understand the hair curl patterns. Okay? So in a market, you will be seeing the straight or slightly wavy, curly, like this. You will be seeing the textures from straight to extremely curly hair. Correct, na? Now, permanent services means it will change the shape of the hair permanently. Temporary services are filler services. Fillers means whatever the hair is damaged, whatever the hair is lost, something, it will act like a filler and coat the hair. It won't work inside the deep of the hair. It works more towards to the filling, repairing or relaxing the hair, but not the permanent one. To understand much more better of these two services, we need to understand the hair structure also. Okay? We all know that hair is made up of that's a protein. Hair is made up of a protein called keratin. I'll come to that point in the next step. But hair is consist of layers, right? One is the first outermost layer is considered as cuticle. The innermost one is considered as cortex. Okay? Inside the cortex, people claim in the videos and all, many people will tell medulla. But medulla is not there in the hair. It is only available in the thickest hairs, like animals' hair, horse. Animals have the hair also, right? It is not as equal to as humans' hair. It is more thicker. Okay, that consists of medulla. In a humans, in a very rare case, you will see the medulla. Medulla is like a fat, nothing related to that. अगर वो है तो बाल ठीक लगता है, नहीं है तो पतला. Humans' hair is thinner only, no medulla, mostly 99%. Only rare cases. Okay. Now let's consider cortex. Cortex के अंदर there is a bunch of cells. Okay. The first cell is called as macrofibrils. In this macrofibrils again, there is a group of cells which is called micro. Macro is bigger, micro मतलब छोटा. इसके अंदर भी there is a group of cells that is called protofibrils. In this protofibril, there is a chain called keratin chain. This keratin chain is something which is very, very, very important for the health of the hair. It is like a bones to body. If anything happens to bones to body, what happens? We lose the strength also. You can't lift, you can't do anything, na? You can't do anything. So keratin chain is also something like a bone to the hair. Okay. Now this is just a science, outer science. Let's understand more deeper of this keratin chain. If we take this keratin chain, it is consist of the peptide bonds. Have you heard about peptide bonds? Peptide, polypeptide chains. It mainly consists of okay. Like this polypeptide chains will be there. Structure. Okay? This polypeptide chains have consist of majority of the amino acids. Amino acids, and this one is all like a protein. That is what the keratin. Okay? ये amino acids and this polypeptide chain is linked with the bonds. Okay? Linked with bonds. So there are 3 bonds available in the hair. Those are, one is hydrogen bond, another one is salt bond, next disulfide bond, like we also call it as sulfur bond or disulfide. Matlab, if you see here, ions plus and minus is there. What is this plus and minus is? Means positive ions, negative ions. ठीक है? लेकिन sulfur bond is all about disulfide. That is the reason in these 3 bonds, 2 bonds are weaker, 1 hair bond is stronger. Why we are saying these 2 bonds are weaker means these 2 bonds can be breakable by water or heat. Sulfur bond we cannot break by water or heat. Okay. If we see these bonds, weak and strong. Under the weak we have hydrogen bond and solid bond. This is disulfide bond, or you can say it as sulfur bond. This both cannot be breakable by water or, but here you require a special ingredient called ammonium thioglycolic acid. It's based off the ammonia family. Okay, ammonium thioglycol or ammonium hydroxide kind of ingredients, special ingredients has to be used to break this bond. Okay. Okay, now coming to these bond structure, when we are working on the sulfur bond, you know where is sulfur bond now? Where is this sulfur bond? It is inside the peptide chain, protein inside this one, keratin chain, and you can see all these layers. That means the product has to go inside the heart of the hair, then only that will be working. Permanent results you will be seeing. Now, in the market we will be seeing a temporary services like keratin, Botox, cysteine, QOD. Now the new trending one, nanoplastia. There are many other brands also available. Kerafusion, keratin, वो है, ये है, बहुत सारे services है temporary service के अंदर. But now to work on this one, those products are not getting into the deep of this bone. They are all working towards to the surface, maximum to the cuticle part. Okay. Now to understand the differences between this permanent and temporary, we have to understand one more important topic called pH. What is pH? Potential of hydrogen. Hydrogen means moisture, water. Okay. This pH is measured with a scale of 0 to 14. Okay. 0 to 6.9 is acidic. 7.1 to 14 is alkaline. And the 7 is neutral. Example, lime, nimbu is having a citric acid. That means the ions, hydrogen ions are more in that. That's the reason those type of considered as acidic. Even stomach also have a high pH. Acids will be there to digest the food. Okay, that is also considered as acidic. Like battery waters, all that waters are considered into the acidic. Now coming to the alkaline is more of salt. Okay, like sea water, salt water, all can be considered into the alkaline stages. Okay, this is very essential to open the cuticle also. Alkaline based products. To do anything on the hair, we have to go with the alkaline based products. Then only that will open the cuticle, allows the product to go penetrate inside the hair. Here is the main difference coming with the permanent and temporary texture services. For doing a permanent texture service, that products has to be alkaline. Temporary services are coating services, more towards to the repairing, relaxing, filling, all coming into the acidic side. Okay, but there is a pros and cons also. We need to understand more deeper, but you have to understand the major difference comes here. The more number of alkaline is getting increased now, the hair becomes more damaged. But here, 2 points we have to remember. When we are doing a permanent texture services, there is no harm to the hair, to the stylist also, if that person is doing exact correct service. Many people, many stylists don't get the confidence to handle these products because they would have seen some damages because of mishandling. That's why they lose their trust to do the smoothенings and straightenings, and they run towards behind the keratins, Botox and nanoplastias, all those things. Because this is coating. Correct, no? Now, when we are handling this coating services, due to high moisture, आपको fumes आता है. Fumes. पता है ना, आयनिंग कर, क्योंकि वो products हम लोग डायरेक्टली वी कांट सेंड द प्रोडक्ट एज अ कोटिंग. ऐसे लगाने में कोटिंग हो जाएगा? you have to give some heat to penetrate deeply. Without heat, the product cannot go inside. Imagine you are putting a nice mask type, conditioner type protein on the hair and you are doing ironing, definitely you see the fumes. It depends again which brand products we are using. Based on that only, that fumes is harmful or not harmful, we need to understand. Some products give to the client also irritation to the eyes, burning, even you get to see this all breathing part and all become so dry, so thirsty you feel, and you can't sleep on that day also. It depends upon the quality of the products people using to give that services. Okay, so this keratin services earlier back in 2011 stage kind of, if we see the early stage of keratin booming in the market. Earlier that was the only service available, na, smoothing or straightening, but there was no keratins available. So this keratin products have just started from 2011, like that kind of era. That time there was a harmful ingredient called formaldehyde. So what is this formaldehyde? It's same like smell, fumes, but not good. It's a carcinogenic, matlab cancer causing ingredient, which is not good for our health. Client ko one sitting she will get it done and she will leave it, but a person who is doing it is in a long run getting a health issues. That was the reason huge against was there in the market, but at the same time hair stylist was also convinced because it is a protein coating. Okay, if they see any damage also, this can give to this one. Earlier this was replicated, the keratin is a protein coating service. Nowhere it is as a smoothening or a straightening service. It was not that. The claim is not the that one. The claim was it is a repairing, filling kind of protein filler treatment type. Now what happened after this, as it is getting advanced, next step of this keratin services has come up with cysteine. Cysteine सुना होगा? Cysteine product. Cysteine, keratin, both are present in our hair naturally also. Cysteine is also one of the amino acid. Okay. Now what cysteine is telling to the people? This cysteine can be done to give the relaxation up to 40%. Keratin में relaxation नहीं था, सिर्फ coating था. Now cysteine started claiming that you will see the 40%, up to 40% of the relaxation. So these services are coating services. As wash by wash, what will happen? Coating starts releasing it and then hair comes back to the normal stage. That was the claim. Okay, but this cysteine and all cannot be done. Not only cysteine, some of the services, this depend upon the brands and all, cannot be done with the pregnancy first 4 months. Pregnancy first 4 months cannot be done. Also, this kind of products cannot be done on the grey hair, henna coated hair, box dyes hair. Cysteine, I am talking about cysteine and keratin. Okay, you cannot do on all these type of consequences here. And also, once you do the cysteine or keratin, you can't do the hair color for coming 4 to 6 months. So what they used to do? आज global करके global खत्म होने के बाद they used to do the cysteine or keratin on the next day or some other day. So what happens? That hair comes down, root will be growing, na? That is non-coated hair. For that, root touch-up can be done. That was the earlier procedure. Okay, but after this cysteine and all, there is another revolutionary product also came, like QOD. If you have heard about QOD and all, QOD is quality of design. It is nothing but than the advanced version of the keratin. But the results is up to 60% to 70% compared to cysteine. People who have extremely curly hair cannot be seeing like 100% results with the cysteines or QODs. They just see the relaxing. Okay, which will be wash by wash, what will happen? Their curls will be coming back. If it is not coming back means they didn't do only cysteine or keratin. उसने पहले smoothing करके on top of that they would have coated this one. वहाँ से permanent result आएगा, यहाँ से coating भी हो जाएगा. They do that kind of gimmicks also. It depends on person to person. Client के depend होगा how she is preferring. Later, this QOD service also become like keratin only, but it is a first formaldehyde free. Cysteine is also formaldehyde free वाला ही. Keratin was with formaldehyde. Cysteine came without formaldehyde, but result was only 40%. But the next version what have come is result is like 70%. मतलब curls को थोड़ा और भी relaxation ज़्यादा दे रहा है, but as equal as keratin service only, but which is formaldehyde free products. This also cannot be worked on the grey hair. Very stubborn होता है grey hair, henna coated hair. Also, no dyes, box dyes. Patients like asthma patients and all, we will avoid. क्यों? Why we will be avoiding with the asthma patients and all? Because that fumes what is coming when we are doing a heat penetration, na? Maybe they are comfortable, may not be. So as per our thing, we have to be very conscious, understanding the customer regarding the medical history before any procedure we have to take. Because these kind of things that day they will not see. It can lead on the after 1 day, 2 days after very serious problem to them. So should not take as a hairstylist, we cannot take any risk of the health for us also, for the clients also. Okay. But recently you must have heard about, apart from this keratin, cysteine, QODs and all, what is the next booming one which we are seeing in the market? Botox. No? Botox is the most trending, current trending service is the Botox one. So now what is this Botox is? Botox started coming up with the blue pigment in it. Now why is this blue pigment is in Botox services is, when we are doing this ironing heating process, there is a chance of, because of the acidic based products, na, when the heat is there, it will lift the color also. Color will lift and hair turn into little bit warmer side. In fact, trainers and all people used to tell that if the customer is going today for color and tomorrow for keratin, suppose she is going for color tomorrow, keratin tomorrow and today she did the color. So we need to tell her, if her global color was in 5 means, we have to do 3 number today instead of doing 5. Because with the keratin and all, the color will lift. But here we need to do little bit darker. If it lifting also, we have to we will be able to manage it. But now in Botox services, what happened is, Botox may they have a blue pigments which can neutralize the drowsiness, whatever the worm is coming. And also Botox can be worked on henna hair, dye hair, which is easy now. Also, this is going to give almost like 90% of the relaxation. Now the stability is also got increased. Relaxation, I am talking about the relaxation. So that's the reason more of the people are nowadays more towards to the Botox now. But if the customer have done smoothing before and now she want to come to the Botox service, it's okay. Can be done. Because that's a deeper service done. This is external service. It is okay. अगर कस्टमर बोटॉक्स करके उसको पसंद नहीं आया, परमानेंट नहीं है, I want to do the permanent one, is it okay? Not okay. Because Botox is coating. How it will allow the permanent service to go inside? You will see the damage in the hair. Minimum 8 to 9 months should be the gap after Botox to a smoothing service. Minimum 9 months is the expected time period what people also say. But after smoothening Botox and all, people are doing. There is, because that is internal, this is external. But Botox ke after, there is no smoothings and all cannot be performed till up to 9 months is the one. Okay. Now second thing which is very important is, nowadays what we are seeing is, most important thing, the trending thing which is not available in all over the market, but it's just started. In another 1 year, 2 year, people might also get into that only, which is called nanoplastia. This is the next advanced version of these services, where you will be seeing the same kind of results, but it comes with the micro infusion technology. The particles are more smaller. Nano मतलब micro से छोटा. ठीक है, micro is a smaller, right? Nano means और भी छोटा होता है. Nano technology मतलब nanoplastic means the ingredients are more smaller. Once you put it and give the heat, it will go into more deeper, more stable and perfect straight. Relaxation is becoming better because the product is fine, right? So it will get into deeper, and that you will see that straight part is also staying. If the customer is looking for Botox and nanoplastia, much difference is not there, but the difference comes in pigments. मैंने बोला ना blue pigments ज़्यादा है Botox में. In nanoplastia, deep blue is there. Since it is a nano micro technology, again lifting can be the possible. So because of this deep blue pigments, it goes and without disturbing the color. And the best part, what according to my understanding, on the nanoplastia day itself can be done the pre-lighting also, color also.
That day.
Only one time. Only allowed is 20 or 30 volumes. That is what the people are understand. Botox and all, I mean Botox also can be done, but nanoplastia mein na color also, even after the nanoplastia, if the customer wants to go for pre-lightening or the coloring, only once can be done. Not like multiple pre-lightening steps cannot be performed, but one time they can go for global coloring or a pre-lightening, highlighting, makeovers can be done. That is because nano infusion is going deeper. It will not go, so that it will allowing the hair to get the color on that. That's the reason that is a new trending thing. Also, this can also be done on the henna and dye coated. That is where nanoplastia is working. At the same time, these Botox and nanoplastia both are coming into the with formaldehyde, without formaldehyde. But we have to understand that product is completely without formaldehyde also before using, because customer is getting a service only once, but who is doing multiple services, cannot be harm to us also. We have to be careful. In keratin, cysteine, QODs and all, we get the burnings. Burning to the customer also, burning to the stylist also. It gives that irritation. Botox and nanoplastia, as the trend is changing, products is getting advanced, the technologies are also getting upgraded. So thoda sa burning, fumes and all is getting lesser and lesser. According to the nanoplastia is no fumes, like very milder and very non-irritating to both of us. But as a caution of precaution, we have to take a mask while we are performing the services. It is that kind of things. Okay, the trend is changing, products are upgrading and all. In the nanoplastia, one more thing is henna dye coated and all. But always remember, anytime when we are consulting or doing any services, we have to be careful with pregnant women. First to 4 months, it is completely avoidable to do any harm chemical services, because baby is forming. Can't be risk to the health of the baby. Hair or anything can be done later. That's the priority. Okay, we have to be very careful for the first 4 months of any pregnant woman with any chemical services. Asthma patients and all, these kind of patients and all, because they might get suffocating and all. Okay, so this I am giving you a brief of difference. Now here we need to understand, all the customers cannot go to nanoplastia because it gives that perfect straight. Some people don't prefer. Some people want volume. Might be cysteine works for them, but cysteine also has to be looked into formaldehyde free. It is all depend upon the customer requirement and the person who is doing a consultation. But we have to understand products in a way that it should not harm to both of us. Okay. Some people don't want the complete relaxation, and if we see, suppose customer is telling I have done only keratin and all, and like 1 year ago but the hair is still straight, that means they didn't do only keratin, because these are all coating services, fade out in 8 months to 9 months only. Beyond that it won't stay. Now one more question people keep getting it, how frequently they can get it done. आज किया तो कब next वाला कर सकते हैं. You have to see the wave to perform the next one. Otherwise what happens? The protein keeps building up, and the way downs, it's a chance to see the hair. People tell no smoothing के बाद keratins के बाद there is a hair fall and all, because of the weight suddenly happened to the hair. How it falls smooth? If there is no weight, there is no heaviness, then how the hair falls to? Correct, no? Because of that immediate changes in the textures, the hair fall will happen. So keeping this differences between the smoothing versus keratins and all will give us the deep knowledge to handle these texture services. So now we are going to explore what is the safest products available in the market to perform this one, and we get that. But before getting, we have to understand what is the services. Now you got the basic understanding of different services now, keratin, cysteine, nanoplastia and all. That relaxation is a different, percentage of relaxation is different. Like if a person wants straight, smooth, silky hair and all, maybe Botox and nanoplastia. If they want something to be formaldehyde free and the relaxation is less bother, but the smoothing, little bit repairing kind of they're looking, cysteines and QODs and all works. So it depends again, customer requirement. Not everyone will be the one brand customer, not everyone will be the other. But permanent smoothing is always safer when we are doing in a right way. No harm, nothing. It's just the technician has to handle the product perfectly. No health issues, not even for the customer, not even for us. It smells for that time period, but fumes and all is not inhaling. Smell is different, fumes is different. Understood the difference? Smell, we just smell it, it will fade out. You also sometimes we get good smell, थोड़ी देर में हो जाएगा. But fumes, we inhale. That too when we are passing the ironing, it goes more inside. The more fumes, the more danger also sometimes. So we have to keep this in idea. Let's see what is happening, because customers also these days, their requirements is changing. But at the same time, my concern is all about our health, because one day we will do, 2 days we will do, but forever to become a expert in that, we have to be conscious about what we are touching and doing also. Remember, there should not be any formaldehyde based products in any service. That's the priority. That should not harm to both of us. I mean, both means clients and people also. So this is major thing which I am looking forward. In a further stage, we will be looking at only the safer and chemical free, less harm to our health, which is very important. We will be looking for. Okay. Any question?